Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel Unyistitches. If today is the first time of you seeing me, you're welcome to my channel, and to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support. In today's tutorial, we want to learn how to draft this stylish gown that you see on the screen. So if this is something you are interested, keep on watching. So this is my pattern paper. My pattern paper is on fold. So I've gone ahead to draw some of my vertical measurements. This is my shoulder line. This is from the shoulder to my chest line. So for you to get your chest line, you divide your bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5. And this is my bust line. This is the half length for my gown. So let's start. I'll start by imputing my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I'm going to mark my neck width. I want to make use of 3 inches neck width. The neck depth, we are going to draw it later on. So let's just make use of only the neck width for now. Then the next thing I will do will be for me to slope my shoulder by 1.5 for the front. Then I'll connect it to my neck width. Then on my chest line, I'm going to draw a straight line from my shoulder slope to my chest line. So we'll mark where I have my shoulder measurement and I'll connect it. So on this line, I will mark half of the line. That is where I have half of that line. Then I will come in by ½ inch. So coming to my chest line, I'm going to mark my bust measurement divide by 4. So I'll go ahead and connect my armhole. So I'm going to mark my line for my underbust. So I will measure from my shoulder to my underbust.
Let's mark our depth now.
So I will start with my bust line. I will mark half of my bust span measurement. That is my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So measure your own from your nipple to the other nipple. That is your bust span. Whatever you have, you divide it by 2. So I will draw a straight line. So on my underbust, I'm going to mark 1 inch towards my center. I'll mark same on my half length. Then towards my side seam, I'm going to mark 1.5. So I'm going to connect it. Can you see? That is my dart. So I will come to my first point. I'm going to connect it. Can you see? That is my dart. The next thing will be for me to come to my shoulder line. I will mark half of my shoulder line. Connect it to my bust point. So after that, the next thing will be for us to draw our neckline. That will determine how deep I want the neckline to be. So I want it to be 6 inches from the shoulder. So this thing now will be for us to draw the neckline. So for me to draw the neckline, I'll come up by 0.75. Then on this other point, I'll come down by 0.5. Can you see? So I'm going to connect from here to here and from here to here. Can you see? So that is our neckline. So if you observe, that picture that I shown you is a princess bustier. I'm going to fix my princess bustier anywhere on this my armhole line. So from my bust point, I'll connect it to the center. of my armhole. Can you see? I'm going to create my dart of ½ inch. So I will mark it here. I'll still connect it to my bust point. So I'm going to raise this dart by ½ inch as well so that it will match up when I'm cutting. Can you see? So I'll go ahead and create my armhole. So this is my new armhole. This is my dart. Then let's impute the rest of our vertical measurement. Come to my bust line. I will mark my bust measurement. Divide by 4. So we'll come to my waistline. I will mark waist measurement. Divide by 4 plus this dart. Connect it to my armhole. So I will impute my bust dart of 1.5. My bust dart is the difference between my front shoulder to the waistline and my back shoulder to the waistline. I'll connect it to the bust point again. So this is my bust dart. This is my waist dart. I'm going to add my shoulder joining allowance of 0.5 inch. I'll go ahead and cut my pattern. This is my front pattern for the upper bodice. Can you see? When you are cutting on your fabric, make sure that you add your joining allowance here, 0.5, and on this other side, 0.5. Add here as well, and here. Then your joining allowance to the skate pad, and then your side seam allowance. You can decide to add it on your pattern paper before cutting. Let's draft the back pattern now. This is my pattern paper. So this line is my shoulder line. This is my chest line. This is my bust line and the half length. So this is my zipper allowance. So I will go ahead and draft my basic bodice. I believe you know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, I have a detailed video on my channel. I'll drop the link on the description box, or you can as well follow what I'm doing here. I'll make it very detailed. First thing will be for me to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. So every measurement that I'm using here, make sure you make use of your own measurements so that you will get a perfect fitting. So my measurements start from this, my zipper allowance line. So I'll make use of 3 inches neck width. I'm going to make use of 1 inch neck depth. That is for my back. You can decide to make use of 2 inches. It all depends on what you want. So I'm going to connect the neckline. That is my neckline. Next thing now will be for me to slope the shoulder. So I'm going to slope the shoulder by 1 inch for the back. I'll connect it to my neck width. So I'm going to mark my same shoulder measurement on my chest line. I'll connect it to my shoulder slope. Then I will mark half of that line. Come in by ½ inch. On my chest line again, I'm going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4. I'm going to plot my armhole now. Can you see that is my armhole? The next thing I will do will be for me to go ahead and impute my dart. So I will mark half of my bust span measurement. That is my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then I'm going to connect it. Can you see? So my dart, I'm going to make use of 1 inch that intake. So that will be ½ inch on both sides. Connect it to my bust points. Then I'm going to mark others of my horizontal measurements. So I'll mark my waist measurement, divide by 4 plus this 1 inch that I'll connect to my waistline. Our back pattern is ready. Let's work on the zipper allowance, which will help us to eliminate that bulging when you put on your zip.
So on my waistline,
I will come in by 0.75. But this depends on who you are working on, the amount to come in. If the person have a deep back, if the back goes in very curvy, like it's very deep, you can use 1 inch. But if the person doesn't have a deep back, you can use 0.5. If it's normal, then you can use the 0.75. I'll connect it to my neck depth. Can you see? This 0.75 that you have minus will help the zipper to balance well on the back. So now, you will as well come up from this 0.75 points. I'll come up by 0.5. Then from this 0.5, I'll connect it to this, my that leg, the face that leg. So now let's go ahead and mark our zipper allowance. So I want to make use of 1.5. So I'll go ahead and mark my 1.5. So my zipper starts from this other line. So I'll extend this line and this as well. So I'll go ahead now and cut my pattern. Remember to add your shoulder joining allowance. So if this tutorial has been helpful to you, remember to give us a thumbs up, like our video, and share our video as well. So our back pattern is ready. Let's draft the skirt part now. I'm drafting both my front and my back pattern together. This is my waistline. The next line is my hip line. The next one is my waist knee line and my full length line. So now let's go ahead and mark all our horizontal measurement. I will start with the waist measurement, divide by 4 plus my 1 inch dart. I'll mark it for both my front and my back pattern. Mind you, all my measurement starts from my center, that is from the center back and also from my center front. The next one, I will mark my hip measurement, divide by 4 on both front and my back pattern. Then I'll connect my point, that is from the waist line to my hip line. Then on my waist knee line, I'm going to mark the same hip measurement divided by 4, and I'll mark same on my full length line for both my front and my back. Then I'll go ahead and connect them. Then the next thing will be for me to impute my dart. I will mark my bust span measurement divided by 2. Then my dart for the back, I'm going to come down by 4 inches. Then I will connect my points. I'll go ahead and open my dart by 0.5 on each side of the line. Then I'm going to connect my dart leg. So I'll go ahead and impute my dart for my front pattern as well. So I will mark my bust span measurement, divide by 2 as well. Then I'm going to come down by 5 inches for the front pattern. I will open up my dart by ½ inch on both sides of the line. The next thing will be for me to tighten my waist knee line to have the pencil look. So I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches on my front pattern, on my waist knee line and also on my full length line. So I will connect it with a straight line, then I'll connect it to my hip line as well. Can you see? That is for the front. So I'm going to shade the part that is not needed. Then for my back, I'm going to divide the 1.5 inches into 2 equal parts. So on my waist knee line, I'm going to mark 0.75 on each side of the line, as you can see me doing so. I will do same on my full length line. Then I will connect my lines and I will draw it to my hip line. The next thing will be for me to go ahead and shape the waistline. Remember, for the upper bodies, we minus 0.75 from the waistline. So we will do same for the skirt part. I'll connect it to my hip line. Then I'm going to go ahead and mark my zipper allowance. The next thing will be for me to add my joining allowance on my waistline. That is joining allowance to the upper bodies. Also my hemming allowance. I want to make use of 2 inches hemming allowance. And I'm going to add my 2 inches as well for my side seam allowance. So the shading part, the part that I shade with purple color, will be the part that I'm going to cut out. So I'll go ahead now and cut my pattern. So this is my pattern set. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share our video and subscribe to our channel. Turn on your notification bell. See you on our next tutorial. Bye bye.